Alright, as already announced, today there will be the next quick tutorial in Blender. And no, I don't want to make tutorials about the basic stuff because there's so many tutorials about the basic stuff. I've heard one was saying that the old ones are about the older versions, but there isn't that much that has changed by the versions. And well, this is just a quick tip how you can achieve something very cool in a very short time. And today we are going to make a more interesting morph sequence. So how we can morph an image into another. And this is pretty interesting, I feel. And well, let's just start. First of all, of course, not of course, but in this case, we put the camera to 002000. That's kind of a basic value that I always use. It's just individual, you can use whatever you want. Just I can work this way best. So the next step is that we are going to add a plane and increase it to this size of our camera lens. So like this, right? Fine. And the next step then is we are going to add a background image. So what are we going to do now? Of course, at first let me just quick choose the first image. So this is going to be the first image that will be shown. And from this image we will morph the whole image into another one. And well, first of all, we are going to map this on our plane, but with a little bit more special, in a little bit more special way. At first, we are going to use the knife tool, which is activated by K. And now we surround the cane, in this case, the can with our pen, so pen, however. And yeah, so that it's in the basic shape in the future that we are going to change. So before we go ahead, I would like to well, let's say repair the whole thing a little bit, because you see it's when this polygon got more than around one side. I'm talking shit right now. Okay, I have no idea what I want to say. When such a polygon got more than 4 sides, it's always a little bit tricky and causes some mistakes in the later process. So we are going to repair it a little bit also with the knife tool. The knife tool is something interesting. With this you can easily cut through things, press space and it's there. However, I hope most of you already knew this. If not, you know it now. It's okay, knife, and then you can cut something like this into 2 parts. The other way would be you take those two vertices and then press J and they are joined and connected. However, so this looks a little bit interesting now. However, I think it's fine. Next thing is, of course, somehow it has deleted our inner planes, so we add this too by pressing F, of course, and then insert a little bit so it's more detailed at the end. And now maybe we can also repair a little bit inside here. That's always a good thing, because you always need to keep in mind that your mesh should be as clean as possible. And this is going to be achieved if you, well, not connect everything, but it works somehow. Don't ask why. So, now that we got our image here, we go ahead, select everything and press under UV mapping, so pressing U, and then choose project from view. So, when we go over here, let's select the cycles renderer, go to GPU, and now that we go to the edit node, and adding our texture to this plane, you will see now there is the wait a second, emission shader. Yeah, this should be, no, it's not working. Wait a second. Oh, alright, it's my own fault. I just forgot to select the image. Alright, but the next step we need to do for the later process is we need to select UV map found on our input, the last input we find there. So we input the UV map in here, and now we want to say that we want to keep this shape. So exact those vertices at this position should be there when we show this picture. So we add in a shape key. So now this those vertices are now applied as the base of our shape keys. So just press the plus, and now we are going to add another image, in which one we want to the can to morph. So let's take the beer over here. Interesting. So the next thing we do now is that we add a next shape key, and now we can transform this thing to whatever we want. I just go and over here. For example, we can now put this over here. It's of course not that visible when we have just the plane, so I make the Y and all the edges visible. Now you can see when I increase the value of the key number 1, you see the vertices are moving. So it calculates the way from the vertices from the base, from the position of the vertices of the base to the position of the vertices for key 1. So this is basically pretty interesting. So now we can go ahead and apply our shape keys to, I should have muted myself on Skype. So now we can put those vertices at the right position. So put this over here, right, nice. Put this over here. It fits pretty well, basically because it's a similar shape than the cane. That's pretty nice. Something like this works much better when they got similar shapes, as you can see right now. And yeah, something like this. So now we got around something like the basic shape of our second image. And now, before we do something, we add another UV map. Because you remember we shift the vertices to another point, so the whole UV map is shifted as well. So we can't use it for the next image anymore. So now we add another UV map. Go ahead, project for unwrap everything, and of course project from view again. And now we go to the edit mode, not edit mode, to the node editor again, and add our second image. So this one And as you can see, our can is a little bit deformed. I just enable our background image. So now we go ahead, select the second UV map and our second image. And now we take a mix shader and mix those two together. So now we got the beer over here. Fine. And let's animate this a little bit. So over here we add, for example, just frame 1. We put the value to 0, and at frame 30, for example, we put this to 1. And the same as well as here, we put this to 1, and for this position to 0. And what happens now is pretty easy. The picture shapes itself to the shape of the can, as well as the image, the second image is blending in. And this gives a little interesting effect. For example, it's pretty good for use for face morphing. So when, for example, you got a face, an image of a face, and you want to morph it into something else, you just take some certain point that you want to, that your special focused points, and then put them to the second face, and it's moving a little bit. It looks more interesting, I think. So what do you think? Do you think this is a interesting feature, or do you think it's not useful at all? I think it looks pretty cool and can be maybe used for one or the other project. However, hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I already got some rendered examples I can show you right now. So just check out here. So you got this box which transforms, for example, into a planet. Or another video is this table which transforms into a little robot. However, at this point the technique I used didn't work that well, because I was just looking if it's working, and yeah, it does. It is working, and I hope maybe I can later see some of your creations with this interesting feature. So see you in the next tutorial. My name is Mr. Rollout, and I wish you a nice day. So see you later.